Jorphy done great work in putting together this Transportation Advisory Committee, and I'm really pleased that we're voting on it this evening. What we discussed last month is the quote-unquote policy that would go behind the statement, behind the ordinance, and what we agreed is that that ultimately should be in the hands of the committee members themselves. We should empower the committee members themselves. But there is a draft policy statement that was created by Mr. Quinn and approved by the standing committee, and we circulated to everybody. And Ms. Wilson brought up a very good point that the people who are applying for the committee, it would be good for them to have that background, to understand the roles and responsibilities that the standing committee and the township committee sees them doing. Ultimately, it will be up to them to create their own strategic plan, just as EDAC, is the Economic Development Committee, is preparing their own strategic plan. So I wanted to ask Mr. Quinn, is there any way of providing that in a draft form to applicants that they can review this policy document that we worked on? So it's, I don't want to say it's a formal township document, it's a draft working document that provides background on position for people who might apply. How might we give that to those interested in the public? And I don't know if you want to chime in too, Mr. Mills.
Well, are you seeking additional information to help finalize the policy, or are you just seeking to share the philosophy with proposed folks interested in serving on the committee?
The latter, just sharing the philosophy. I mean, as I said, ultimately it'll be up to the committee themselves to come up with a strategic plan, and this is sort of just a guide.
I would think then if you solicit on the website for volunteers interested in being part of the committee, you could then, amongst those showing interest, distribute the proposed policy.
We're going to do a media release for this and put it up there so anybody that has interest in it to contact the administrator's office, they can be provided with a copy of the document and make a decision whether or not they wish to apply or not.
Is that sufficient?
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't know how else to do it.
I mean, well, the other way to do it, and I don't know if we want to go that way, is, all our committees are listed online. So you can go on and click on the committee, and after tonight, if we do proceed and approve this committee, we should be adding that to the website, the Transportation Advisory Committee. So I'm wondering if they clicked on that, if they could then get to the draft document, but it's still a draft document and it shouldn't be posted?
Well, you run into some issues if you put things that are not finalized, incorporate them into your website. Is it fatal? No, but it can lead to confusion.
Okay.
We just changed it.
So Mark and Kathy, since you're on the standing committee, would that be okay? If somebody shows an interest, they can get a copy of that?
Yeah, I think it's important for people to know what the details of their work would be.
I agree.
So upon request, they can get a copy of the draft document? And that works for both of you?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Does that work for everybody else? Very good. So with that said, does anybody else have any comments on the ordinance before we ask for a motion to approve?
How would the people be appointed? Suppose there are 20 people, which there won't be, who sign up for this. What pedagogy will we use to determine who will be on the committee? I mean, I know what the rules are. I read those, but how will we do that? Is that a choice? Does the mayor appoint them? Do you two appoint them? Do we all appoint them? What's the final?
So the ordinance states that the appointing body is
I believe the township committee.
the township committee.
You just have to vet them individually if you have a surplus of applicants.
So I would say that the standing committee would vet the applicants and then bring them to the township committee and ask for, just as we do in the reorganization meeting at the beginning of the year, it's consensus of the township committee for certain appointments, and the same for this one.
That's fair. Okay.
Very good. Any other questions or comments?
I have a few comments, but I'm going to wait until after the vote takes place. I'll talk about it in standing committees.
Okay, very good. So with that, I'll ask for